What's going on, everybody? Scummy Legion here, and today we got some coaching. So this is going to be Master Discord, and it's going to be on Mount Ormond. Two things I know right off the bat is that they do not run add-ons, so I'm not going to get into that, just because that's the way they want to play. So I'm not going to make that count as some sort of mistake. That's the way they want to do it. First thing to look at is the build. The build is fine. There's really no issues. Obviously, it'd be preferred to have Enduring to Tier 3. Discordance is fine, at least Spirit Fury is at Tier 3, and Barbecue is always good. It seems like they got some other decent perks like Monitor and Thanatophobia and Dying Light to throw in there if they wanted. But, again, they got Spirit Fury 3, so Enduring 1, 2, 3. 3 is preferred, but the rest are fine. Alright. So Mount Ormond, pretty tough map, very survivor friendly due to the loops. Let's see how this is. Okay, so first thing off the bat that I noticed is you went all the way to this generator, and even if you were going to path that way, you have this gen over here. It would have been better for you to go through this side, come out, check that generator just by listening, and then come back and loop for this side, so you have the entire one side of the map done. It's just saves a little bit of time. Alright, so Discordance going off. Discordance lets you know you got 2 people there. You still have 2 that are unaccounted for. Well, 2 or 3 are there. Alright, so saw 1 run this way, saw by the head. You got 2 there, and you got 1 there. So, good lunge. If you had add-ons, you would make this, but you don't. So right there, you could have also, if you wanted to buy a little bit of time, you could have vaulted the window off to your left here, and then moved around to the other window and then vaulted it, since it pauses the timer, but it gives you that little bit of distance. If you do that plus the window tech, or the window trick, to not lose any stutter, you could have made that extra distance. Not saying you would have made it, but you would have had a slightly better chance. Okay, so we just heard a totem break, so she was on a totem, so you would have definitely been able to make it. You see she's up there, she wants to use bounce landing. Yeah, you just back away from that. You could have also tried to force her out of it, but you did have tap, heal up, or bend, I mean, over here. Go back, kick in the gen. You got no gen slowdown, so it's best to kick it when you can. There's tap. Let's see how you play this. Nice work. You know, the Meg's still up there. You can hear her working on it. Instead of hooking him, you should have pushed her off of the gen before hooking him. Now she gets a few extra seconds on that gen. A little bit more progress. Look around for her. Okay. I didn't see her either. You wanted to kick that gen while you were up there. Gotta keep the game regressing, and kicking is probably your best friend right now, since you have nothing else to really slow the game down. You have nothing to slow down their mending. There she is. Should have frenzy hit. It's fine that you didn't, because you could take this 1v1, but you wanted to frenzy hit since you didn't use barbecue to see where anybody was, so you just wanted that information, more or less. Okay, you're kicking that. Okay, so you just had people get freed over here by a gen that you saw was worked on pretty heavily. You got 2 over here, maybe 1. Yeah, you didn't want to go this way. You wanted to head back to the gen on the hill, because that one is close to being done, and you know that 2 people are over there, one of which might have been injured. It looks like they both healed up, so yeah, they could have both been there. So now you got 2 here and 2 here. So they're splitting gens. That gen's gonna pop, this gen's gonna pop. It is hard without slowdown. You gotta remember to use Frenzy, because it buys extra time. They don't need to heal, it's not their main objective. So making them mend helps a lot more. Good grab there. That was a good grab. Even if you didn't use Frenzy, you fixed that that slight mistake by ending the chase early, which is always good. So, good on you for that. But you do want to abuse Legion's Frenzy as much as you can. So we saw the Megan go this way. And yep, she's going to continue that way. Tap was still up on the hill. Because the gen just got done, so he could have only been on the backside. There's Jake. Jake saved the sprint burst. That's smart of him. Good stab. Let's see how you play this. Okay, you ended it early. And he throws on the pallet. So instead of letting him blind you, what you could have done is after the stab, you could have ended the frenzy a little earlier. And then if you wanted to go for the blind, you could have done the pallet trick. So you could have frenzied over the pallet and vaulted, and then by the time you get blinded, you'll be on the other side hitting him. It is a harder technique, so I'm not gonna blame you too much, but I'm just letting you know what your options are in scenarios like that. Good use of barbecue, you know where two of them are. Third one might be either in the area or maybe off to this side over here that you didn't look, but you saw two of them, and that's the most important part. So let's see how you approach this. Got into frenzy, that's good. Get him healing, get him mending. Now you're going around the side. You gonna make it? Ooh, it's gonna be close. Oh, you held it for just as long as you needed, and it almost worked out. Alright, so Nia's messing that up. She's definitely the weaker runner. You didn't want to break this just because she ran away, so you wanted to follow, so you don't lose the chase, because now Nia's gone. You only want to really break the pallet if they're going to sit at it. You did find her again, so that's good. That's good. Even if you make small mistakes like this, as long as they're corrected or you make up for the time lost, that's fine. And you ended that chase fairly quick, so could have potentially ended it a little sooner. But again, it's small details like that. Small stuff like that will get punished in higher red ranks, like ranks even somewhat 3 through 1. Those ranks, they will punish you for those small mistakes, but you got time for now, and these players don't seem to be too strong. Detective Tap is just getting all the love taps, which is perfect. Okay, so they're going for the unhook. So how are you gonna approach this? Okay. You had someone to your left that you could have potentially reset off of, and then you would have been able to make it. Again, there is some limitations only because you ooh, that was pretty decent juke. So you could have done the pallet trick there again, just waited for your power and just dodged it in the meantime. There are some limitations to your frenzy only because you are running the base with no add-ons. It's small stuff that obviously the add-ons would help with, but if that's how you play, I'm not going to tell you not to play your way. Everyone plays their characters their way, so I'm just giving you general tips overall, and this is for others that do use add-ons too, so you understand, like, hey, if you had Mural Sketch or Stolen Sketchbook or this or that, it makes some of these multi-stabs or chain stabs a little bit easier, or a little more possible. That was a good body block by her. The Nia did not react at all. Okay, so you got 2 slugged. Kick the gen. You're gonna go over and look for the tap. Okay, so tap's out of pallet, and you got Spirit Fury. There's don't know what he's doing, but there's no point in picking him up. Should go over and grab the Nia. The Nia is a free hook. There's no point in... he's still hovering around there. That's what people with flashlights like to do. Yeah, at this point you should have just gone over and picked up the Nia, since she is a given. It's unfortunate you missed the stab. If you would have hit the stab, the recovery would have allowed you to potentially get her or tap again. And now they're picked up. If you're gonna slug like that and you're gonna kick the generator, what you want to do is you want to follow it up right away by picking up the safest one. If you picked her up, yeah, they could have potentially got tapped up, but you would have had a hook. Not only that, but you would have had an idea of where everybody is, and you could have chain stabbed again, or even potentially down someone. Don't know why I should still vault to that. Alright, so now you got 2 slugs again. And now you got to start hooking. So Jake's back up. Tap must have been right on top of that. You want to hook that Nia. Okay, good stab. Now right here's one of those moments where you should pick up the Nia. Because going for this chain stab, it's nice to have him injured, but you want to make sure you get that Nia. Okay. He blinded you. Buying time. They weren't on top of that, so that's good. But after stabbing the Meg, the rest were already injured, so you should have just picked her up by either ending Frenzy or just picked her up in Frenzy. That's one of the few times where you could have. Because, yeah, she was dead. And if you would have picked her up earlier, you would have killed her, and you wouldn't have had this much stress with it. You gotta keep track of when survivors are dead on hook and when they aren't. I do make that mistake myself, though, so I don't blame you on that, because there's sometimes where I'm hooking people left and right, and it feels like someone should be dead, but no one's dead. This Meg seems to be probably the stronger one of them. Maybe the Jake. Maybe not. Good lunge. Really, really good lunge. Picked up right away, because the other 2 are healing. So, you know that those 2 aren't on a gen because they were healing, so that's really good for you. That's going to be a lot of regression. This last hook, and there they are. That's where the last 2 are. So now you got to get over there, and you got to get some chain stabs, and then end a chase. Tap is probably the closest to dead, I think. He's also the easiest. Alright, that's not too bad. I mean, it sucks that you lose Frenzy, but you do have Enduring, so that kind of makes up for it. Still want to try to bait those out, especially at this rank. If you, like, fake going forward and back up just out of range, they'll usually throw it down and you can vault over. Okay, pallet. Tap might heal her on hook, which if he does, that's wasting time for his team. Good flick. Yep, ignore the killer instinct. You got this. Now you get Spirit Fury. So now you can end it. And he's trying to get it, and there's a Spirit Fury Enduring. Enduring 1 is also fine for Spirit Fury. It's not nearly as bad. I mean, it's not nearly as good, but... Alright, so Jake's on second hook. Jake will be dead next time. Now you got Tap and Meg. You saw where Tap was going. You saw that Meg was on a gen. So that little slugfest earlier with the Nia and the Tap, that did slow you down a lot, especially because you didn't end up getting the Nia dead right there. You get the stab. Oh, okay, so... Yeah, that if you saw that she was in there, you could have easily gotten her. Keeping the gen is fine. As long as you find her again. Should have tried to use the max duration on it, just to try to find him again. That little angle is kind of confusing. It does look like she's on the side, when in reality she's actually in the locker. But at that, when you're coming around the corner, it would have been best to just try to check the locker, because even if she comes out, you still get a Frenzy stab. And if she doesn't come out right away, then you get to pull her out of the locker, which is a free down. So Jake is dead on hook, but Jake is healed. So probably going to start a healing party. Yes, they are. stab. She's way too far for you to get. Should go back for the tap. Okay. That pallet should have been broken. So since you lost tap, it'd be better to just go and break that pallet so it can't be used in the future. You want to make sure you keep pallets somewhat clear. I know it's very intense at this end game, but that's why you need every second, every little bit. Tap's very, very loud. Holy crap. Okay, so I see you chasing the Meg. So again, you're trying to slug to buy yourself time, which is fine. Now you want to pick her up. Could go back for tap, but if he's got tenacity, he's going to be gone. Or if Jake was right on top of him. Tap's very loud, so yeah, okay, so Jake was probably right on him. And he crawled a little bit. So you want to go get the Meg. Which is what you're doing. Good job. Okay. So that gen's gonna be close to being done. You might even pop it while you're hooking her. Now right here, yeah, frenzy for distance. And tap out adrenaline. Who do you got here? I believe that was Jake. Looks like Jake. Alright, you really want to be abusing the fact that you can vault. Because he ran you around this. When you saw him, when you heard him vault back again, the second time you wanted to just vault and chase him down, you would have gotten him for the hit. And then you could have just tracked him down and stuck on him and then downed him. So that's going to lose you that little bit of time. They're probably going to get one of the gates opened or 99'd. There they are. Okay, so you caught him. Okay, there's an injure. Killer instinct's telling you where she is. Not gonna stab her though. And taps back at that pallet. I believe Tap is only on his second hook. He's been down a lot, but still. Enduring right there helps out a lot. Yeah, Tap's been slugged a lot. Alright, so now you're gonna hook him. And they probably got that other gate 99'd, so they're either gonna have to get forced out or, you know, they're just gonna try to come back and save him. Looks like they're splitting up. You try to cut the one off that's coming to the left, which you do try to do. He goes very far to the left, and you go to the door. You should have went right there. You should have frenzy stabbed and then ran back to Tap because there's no way you're gonna get her in time. Forcing her out though, so you got the pressure on them. Now you want to be frenzying there. Because at this point your frenzy is just used to get you across map. You want to force that pressure. A little indecisiveness. If you had your frenzy on, you could have vaulted that window and just kept moving forward. You did end up cutting him off though. So let's see. Alright, so there's a hit on Tap. Tap messed up. You might be able to get him. Unless Jake body blocks for you. Jake body blocks. Should have hit Jake right away. If you hit Jake right away, you could have potentially caught him. We'll have to see. Hit him like immediately. You might have caught him a step or two out of... Yeah, you could have... It would have been close. It would have been very, very close. Not terrible. I mean, you had a lot of hooks. You had some very, very close moments. First thing that I do want to point out again is at the start, the way you pathed. You were see, you got this gen over here, just in case they were there, which it didn't seem like they were, but still, just for future games, you want to do a big kind of U, or like a half circle more like, and you want to come around here, and then you want to use the momentum of coming this way and swing back all the way around. You want to do it kind of like a circle, a little clockwise circle, because then it would have led you to this gen a lot sooner instead of being a cross map where you have to shoot back to go get them. You want to try using your Frenzy a bit more. I know you don't have add-ons for it, but your Frenzy is very useful, whether you're going to use it to hook someone and get a cross map to someone that you see through barbecue, or through discordance, or if you just find one person, stab them, and if you don't see anyone that seems close, if you see them on the edge of your detection range, then don't worry about them, just ignore them. But if you see them pretty close by, then go for them and get the stabs. You want to keep spreading around even if they are injured, unless you have someone slugged. If you have someone slugged, then make sure that if you have one or the other to pick up, if one you just downed gets to a pallet, just go pick up the other one. Even if they pick up that one, he's at a pallet, and with you having Spirit Fury Enduring, that's not a bad thing. Especially if you have Spirit Fury up, then you could just come in, and since you're being aggressive, if you just lunge forward, they're going to assume that they need to drop the pallet and try to stun you. Then Spirit Fury Enduring takes over, and maybe you get a hit with it too, and even if you don't, you'll get another injure. Or you'll get it down even if they are injured. You did good on the flashlight though. You did good getting a hit on Jake. After that hit, you should have just went back immediately for the Nia, because like I said, she was dead. That would have saved you a lot of time of her running around and having to re-chase her. Overall, not bad at all. I mean, you got the Ruthless, you got a lot of hooks, and you kept up the pressure towards the end. But in the future, just kind of keep those little tidbits in mind, and remember to abuse Legion's power as much as you can. Even though it's 12 seconds or 8 seconds, it is time taken away from the survivors on gens, and that's the most important part, is to keep them off of gens, especially if you have no slowdown perks, which you have ways to end chase and you have ways to locate them, so you don't necessarily need slowdown. Thank you for joining me for this is the first of many coaching sessions. If you'd like to have me coach any of your games, please send them in, send them to my Discord and private message me them. I will get to them when I can, and I will try to upload them as soon as possible, okay? Thank you for joining the Legion.